Welcome to all. Today's topic is colloids and its properties. This is copper sulfate solution. Second one is chalk and water solution. Third one is milk. First one, this copper sulfate solution is a true solution, and second one, chalk and water, is a suspension, and third one, milk, is a colloids. If you see the properties here, true solution is transparent, and this chalk powder, here the chalk powders are insoluble and settle down at the bottom of the container, and the milk is translucent, and its particle size lies in between 10 to the power minus 9 to 10 to the power minus 7 meter, and its size is greater than true solution but less than suspension. This is the very important properties of colloids, that the size, its size lies in between 10 to the power minus 9 to 10 to the power minus 7 meter. This is the important difference between colloids, suspension and true solution. Classification of colloids mainly based on the following criteria. First criteria is the physical state of dp and dm. That means dispersed phase and dispersed medium. Depends upon its physical state, colloids are different types. Second type of classification based on the interaction between dp and dm. That means attraction between dispersed phase and dispersion medium. Third type of classification based on the nature of particles. Depend upon the nature of particles, that is dispersed phase, colloids are of different types. Let us discuss one by one. First classification, that based on the physical state of dp and dm and the nature of colloids produced and what are the examples. Let us discuss. First, dp. dp is generally solute and dm is solvent. That means higher percentage is medium and lower percentage is dp. Solid in gas. That means solid is dispersed in gas. Here gas is more, solid is less. Solid is dispersed. Solid is dispersed in gas. That's why it is called aerosol of solid. Solid in gas is called aerosol of solid. Example are smoke, dust. These are the aerosol of solid examples. Then solid in liquid, it is called salt. The solution, that colloidal solution is called salt. Here examples are paint. Paints are solid in liquids. Then solid in solid, both are in solid form, that is called solid salt. Examples are colored gemstone, alloys. These are the all alloys, you know, brass, steel, stainless steel. These are the examples of alloys where solid in solids are mixed, that is called solid salt. Then liquid in solid, that is called gel. Somewhat viscous. Liquid in solid, that is called gel. Example are all jelly substance. Cheese, examples of gel type. Colgate gels or your toothpaste also, that examples of liquid in solid. Then liquid in liquid, that is called emulsions. Example is milk, your hair cream. These examples, liquid in liquid. Here both liquids are immiscible, but they are mixed with the help of third reagent and forming emulsion, that is called emulsifying agent. Produce emulsion. Examples is milk and hair cream. Then liquid in gas, that is called aerosol of liquid. Means here gas is more, liquid is less. Example, fog, mist, cloud. These are the examples of liquid in gas type of colloidal solution. Then gas in solid. Gas in solid means solid is more, gas is dispersed in solid. Example, that is, these are called solid sol. That is called solid sol. Examples, that is pumic stone, foam and rubber. Then gas in liquid. Gas in liquid, that is called foam. That is called, examples are shaving cream and your froth. These are examples of gas in liquid type of colloidal solution. So on the basis of physical state of DP and DM, there are 8 types of colloidal solution can be possible. 8 types. Why gas in gas is not possible? Because gas, when mixed with another gas, it results a true solution that is homogeneous. That's why it will not be considered as a colloidal solution. So it is not included in gas type of colloidal solution. So total 8 type of colloidal solution is possible on the basis of physical state of DP and DM. Okay. Then on the basis of interaction between DP and DM, on the basis of interaction between DP and DM, there are 2 types of colloidal solution are possible. One is lyophobic, another is lyophilic. On the basis of interaction between dispersed phase and dispersion medium, there are 2 types of colloidal solution are possible, that is lyophobic and lyophilic. Lyophobic means these are called solvent heating. That means there is very less interaction between DP and DM. That's what is called liquid heating, solvent heating. But in case of lyophilic, very strong attraction between DP and DM. That's why it is called solvent loving. Lyophilic salts are called solvent loving salts and lyophobic salts are called solvent hating salts. And these colloids, lyophobic colloids, where dispersed phase and dispersion medium has no affinity, no attraction. Here attraction is greater, greater affinity towards dispersion medium. And this solution is not stable, very less stable, but this solution is highly stable because attraction is more. Then this is easily, this solution, this can be prepared by mixing substance directly, but they cannot be prepared by mixing substance directly. They are prepared only by special methods. Lyophilic solution, this solution, these 2 type solution here lyophilics, it is this type of solution can be easily prepared, and this solution cannot be easily prepared. It is required special method, and it is this solution easily prepared, and they need stabilizing agent for their preparation. When it will be prepared, it require what? Stabilizing agent. 1/3 reagent is required for stabilization because it is unstable, and it does not require any stabilizing agent. And this is called irreversible salt, and this salt is called reversible salt. This, another thing, just you correct it, this solution can be easily prepared. It can be easily prepared, this one, and this solution requires special methods. It requires special methods, it can be easily prepared. Just you change it, this one. Then this is irreversible, this is reversible. It can be again re-prepared possible. Re-preparation is possible, but lyophilic, once dispersed phase, dispersion medium are separated, it is very difficult to again reappear. Then examples are ferric hydroxide salt, arsenic sulfide salt, metal salts. These are the examples of lyophobic salts, and these are the examples what are gum, gelatin, starch. These are the examples of lyophilic salt. These are the examples of lyophilic salts. Okay. Then here classification based on the size of particles, on the basis of particle size, on the basis of colloidal particle size, the nature of colloidal particles. There are three types of colloidal solution possible. First one is multimolecular colloids. Multimolecular colloids means here the particles are aggregated into large size. Examples: sulfur, S8. S8 sulfur colloids is possible by the aggregation of sulfur atom and forming S8 molecules. Here 8 sulfur atom combine to produce the colloidal form. So colloidal form is possible by the aggregation of smaller particles to form multimolecular colloids. Example is sulfur. Then second type of category is macromolecular. Macro means the term indicates is very large size, larger size atom. That's why it is called macromolecular colloids. Here the particle size is very large and it has high molecular mass. Examples are proteins, starch, cellulose. These are the some examples of macromolecular colloids. Here these macromolecular colloids, one example is that is proteins, starch, cellulose, hemoglobin. These are the examples of macromolecular colloids, large size, high molecular mass. Third type example is associated colloids. Associated colloids, it is also called as micelles. Here at high concentration the particles are aggregated into colloidal forms, but at a low concentration it behaves as a true solution, but at a high concentration it behaves as colloids. That's why during preparation of associated colloids or micelles it required proper concentration. Here one example is soap solution. This is the diagrammatically representation of soap. Soap has two types. Its structure has in two forms. The head is hydrophilic and the tail is hydrophobic. That means this part is long carbon chain which is water insoluble, and this is hydrophilic because it carries CO minus, that is negative charge. It carry the ions. That's why water soluble. This part head is water soluble and the tail is water insoluble. Here just one examples of associated colloids, that is soap solution. Here what happens? These are the tails. Tails are aggregated in one side and heads are separated from tails, and this head gets dissolved in water molecules. It gets dissolved in water and the tail gets associated forms and forming micelles. So these are the formation of micelles by soap molecules. That orange color indicates the head of the soap molecules, and this yellow colors line indicate the tail. Tails gets associated, aggregated, and heads gets associated with the water molecule, forming micelles. And during the formation of micelles, it required a particular temperature. This temperature is called Crab temperature. The temperature at which micelles is formed is called Crab temperature. Similarly, the minimum concentration required formation of micelles is called critical micelles concentration. This is called critical micelle concentration, where the minimum concentration is necessary for the formation of micelles. That is called CMC, critical miscellaneous concentration. That is critical micelle concentration. There is minimum concentration at which the micelles is formed. Then what are the properties of colloids? Colloids, all colloids are heterogeneous, consist of two phases, that is dp and dm, disperse phase and dispersion medium. And all colloids shows colligative properties. Colligative property means depression of freezing point and elevation of boiling point, osmotic pressure. These are colligative property. These colloids also shows colligative properties. And shows Brownian movement, shows Tyndall effect, and shows electrophoresis. These are very important characteristic of colloidal solution. Then let us discuss that is Brownian movement. This properties is studied by Robert Brown. You see the movement of colloidal particles. The particles are moving in zigzag motion. Particles are moving in zigzag motion. This zigzag motion is called Brownian movement and studied by Robert Brown. And this type of movement is observed due to unequal collision of dp and dm. In the solution, both dp particle and dm particle undergo collision among themselves. During collision, it shows different direction in the movement. That's what is called Brownian movement, studied by Robert Brown. Then another properties, very important properties of colloidal solution is Tyndall effect. What is Tyndall effect? When a beam of light is passed through the colloidal solution kept in a dark, if you see the solution in a microscope, what you will observe, it shows scattering of light. It shows scattering of light. Due to scattering of light, it shows Tyndall effect. That means the path of light is illuminated by different color. When the beam of light is passed through colloidal solution, the path becomes visible with different colors. That's it is called, this property is called Tyndall effect, and it is due to scattering of light by colloidal particles. The light gets absorbed by the colloidal particle, and some amount of wavelength of light gets transmitted by the colloidal particles and showing different color. That's what is called Tyndall effect. If you see the Tyndall effect is generally observed in this way. When the same light passed through the colloidal solution and true solution, here just you see the difference. In the colloidal solution, what happens? It is showing the change in color. But in true solution, there is no change in color of the particles. Just into same color remains. But in colloidal solution, showing the change in color. That's what is called Tyndall effect. Then another important properties of colloidal particle is electrophoresis. In electrophoresis, what happens? The colloidal particles gets attracted towards particular electrode. When the colloidal solution will placed in electric field showing positive terminal and negative terminal, that means positive plate and negative plate, as this is anode and this is cathode. Then when the voltage is applied, then the colloidal particles gets attracted towards particular electrode. And in this diagram, these negative colloidal particles move towards the positive electrodes. That's why it is called positive electrodes. That is called anode. That is called anaphoresis. When movement occurs towards cathode, it is called cataphoresis. When movement occurs towards anode, it is called anaphoresis. Here in this example, here negative particles move towards anode. That's what is called anaphoresis. So movement of colloidal particle towards oppositely charged electrode is called electrophoresis. Movement of colloidal particles towards oppositely charged electrode is called electrophoresis. So these are the some important examples of colloidal particles. Okay, this is regarding the properties of colored substance. Okay, thank you.